Hello everybody, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of Boom, the Masters of the Universe Origins figure, the Horde Trooper Prime. Now, I've been liking a lot of these Horde Troopers that they're making. I think they look really cool and what have you. And they're great world builders, so I'm really curious to see what they do with this particular figure. So, first thing I want to mention is that I do have a membership program now. So for $2 a month, you get a lot of cool stuff like blooper reels, behind the scenes stuff, and a whole bunch more. So check that out. And without any further ado, roll that intro. So here he is in packaging. So far, I'm liking the packaging for him. So up here, you got the Masters of the Universe, new for 24. Then you get this really cool art. I love this art. So you can see him leading a whole bunch of troopers, plus also hoverbots in the battle. All right, you got a bunch of snakemen there that they're attacking. So I really like this art. I think that looks really good. So now you drop down into the lower part of it. You got your retro play here, your age restriction. You get an open window so you can see him in the hover robot, Evil Horde, Horde Trooper Prime, hover robot Prime included. All right. Spin that around this way. Try to get that light off there. You get Masters of the Universe, his name. Then you get a rear view of the figure. Bring her around here. Now you get this killer art. I love this picture. I think this looks really, really cool. So you got the Masters of the Universe logo up top. Then you have him just walking on in like he's a badass with a whole bunch of his troopers behind him. So this looks really cool. I like this picture. It kind of gives you an idea of how big of a deal this particular Horde Trooper is just by the whole persona of him. So I do like this art a lot. Around here, you got a picture of the Hoverbot. Now, the neat thing about the Hoverbots are those are originally Skeletor's robots in the original Filmation cartoon. So it's kind of interesting that they actually have them with the Horde Trooper Prime. So that's pretty neat. All right. Look at it from the top. Not a whole lot going on there. And then underneath is your legal and skew. So with all that being said, let's open them up and see what he's about. All right, so here he is out of packaging. Overall, he isn't a bad looking figure. I like the overall look to him. So first off, we're going to go through his points of articulation. So his arm does move. You get a spin here. His other arm, you got an elbow joint, a swivel, and a wrist joint. All right. You do get a thigh joint, a knee joint, and you do get an ankle joint. Also get a swivel here at the hips. And then we're going to do his battle damage thing here. Open them up. And you do get some good head movement. All right. And just be a little careful with this because the cape wraps around it in a certain way. So it might get wrapped up in there. So everything moves pretty well on this figure. I don't have any issues with that. So now let's get into the finer details. So you can't see much of the head this way. So let's pop him open again. All right. This way you get a good look at the head design. So you got this V shape here. Then you got all the mechanics and everything inside. All right. Close that back up. And then you look at his armament. Now there's some changes on this opposed to your normal Horde Trooper. So you got some gears and stuff up there. You got this piece. So he's slightly designed different, which is pretty cool. I do like that. Spin him around here. You got this arm here. So you got the Hordak style arm piece here, laser cannon. And you come around to the back. Move this cape up so you can see the back detailing and what have you. All right, put the cape back. I do like the factor that the cape is cloth. I always like cloth cape over plastic. All right, so you come to this side, you can see down his legs. And then you can also look at the detailing on this arm as well. And back around to the front. So overall, he really isn't a bad looking figure. So now he does come with a couple of accessories. So first off, he has a different attaching arm here. All right, so he's going to have a bunch of attachments that hook onto here. As you can see, he has a red version of Roboto's axe on here. All right. You also have Roboto's claw and his double blaster. And then last but not least, you have the trap jaw style blaster. All right. He comes with the little drone dude here. All right, let's move him aside for a minute. Now this guy, his arms do move. Here, we'll actually put him over here for a minute so we can get a really good look at this guy. So, whoops, falls over. All right, so the arms move, so you get that. You get an elbow joint. That's all the parts that move on him. Give him a quick rotation. All right. Got all this cool detail in the back as well. All right. And back around to the front. So overall, it actually isn't a bad looking little robot. I do like him. All right. Now back to our main focus. There's this guy here. Get that back on you. All right. Now, one other thing he does come with is his card. So he doesn't come with a mini comic. He comes with the card. It has all his stats and everything on it and what have you. So let's swap this arm out and see how well this stuff works with him. All right. So pop that in there. All right. So there you go. You got the axe arm. Let's see if we can get this joint to move. That's a very tight joint. All right. Now that's strange because usually with these Masters of the Universe figures, I don't have this kind of problem with joints. But this is definitely very tight. There it goes. Okay. I got it now. Just took a little bit of moving around to get it to work. All right. So as you can see, that works well with him. All right. All right. The trap jaw gun doesn't want to go in. It sits a little weird on him. So if you look, you can see that gap in there. Just because it's longer than the other two. So it doesn't fit on there as well. All right. Yeah, as you can see, the Roboto parts seem to want to swap out pretty well. I think what they should have done with the Trapjaw one was just shorten the stock a little bit. See, that works good as well. Because when you look at these, all right, you look to them side by side, you can see that the Trapjaw one is longer than the Roboto part. So because it's longer, it's not going to fit all the way in the hole. So they should have fixed that and sanded that down. Now, you could do that yourself. If you want to cut that down, you can. But that should have been sized properly. Okay, so let's get into my final thoughts with him. So first off, I think he's a decent looking figure. I like the overall look to him. His joints do move pretty well. These shoulders are a little bit tight, but that might be because of the play feature. But they do move pretty well. And also, the elbow on the alternate arm was a little bit tight. So other than that, everything moved pretty well. The same with his bot here, this little robot. You know, everything moves very well on him. As for his accessories, everything swapped out very well. The only one I had an issue with was the trap jaw gun. The piece that gets inserted into the arm is a little too long for this figure, and I feel like somebody should have noticed that in production to fix that. But once again, that's something simple. If you really want to, you could fix it. You could probably just cut off a little bit of length on that and it should fit fine. But I really do feel like that's something that they should have took care of in production. So with that being said, would I recommend this figure? Absolutely. I think he's really cool looking. He does have some special details that, separates him from the average Horde Trooper. And he's just an overall cool looking character. I like his overall look. I like the robot that he comes with as well. Like I said, the only thing I have an issue with is the one gun. So, with that being said, first thing I want to do is give a shout out to a couple people who help out this channel, like the Reddit group Action Figure Geeks. Their information is in the description. And also, I want to give a shout out to Byron Bassett and his alternate ego, Humongous. He has his own YouTube channel. He helps a lot with the channel, with some of the visuals that you see. So check out his YouTube channel as well. Plus, take a look at my membership program and my Masters of the Universe playlist. So, yeah, along with all that, hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So, until the next one, late.